Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Saturday, August 31st, 2019, and we're getting towards the unofficial end of summer. It's going to be Labor Day on Monday, and we got kids going back to school next week, so most people are out and about getting in their last licks before they wait for Memorial Day to start the whole cycle over again. Fortunately, as all of you probably know, fishing knows no seasons. So while other people are getting in their final hurrahs for the summer, for me, this is just another weekend. Well, aside from the fact that it's 50% longer than most weekends. And what weekend would not be complete without a little fishing? So I'm here at the Raritan River trying to get me some smallmouths. I'm starting out with a tube jig today because the sun is pretty bright, and I imagine most of these fish are going to be on the bottom, tucked behind rocks or around weeds, and they're not really going to be in a chasing mood because they want to stay out of the sun. So I'm just going to drift this tube jig along, and hopefully it'll drift right on by where these fish are holding so they can dart out and eat it. Plus, there's really never a wrong time to fish a tube jig in a river. Seems like they'll always catch something. Oh my goodness. Big smallies just swam by me. See if I can get them to eat. One of them looked like it was close to 4 pounds. There's a fish. Oh, he came off. That was a big smallmouth. That was a big smallmouth. Oh my gosh. That thing was big. Oh, that hurt. That really hurt. That really hurts, guys. Oh. Oh my gosh. Wow. That just... Oh boy. I need a minute. My guys, that was a big fish. I saw it flash. It was a big, big fish. Oh, look what he did to my tube. Oh my gosh. Give me a second. I'll be back with you shortly. I just need the pain to stop for a minute. Guys, if you need any proof that that was a big fish, it's been a minute and I'm still shaking. Alright. I don't know how, but I'm going to have to find a way to redeem myself. Nothing to do but keep fishing. Hope I can find another one. I can't catch him, and they're jumping right in front of me. Well guys, I got a few additional hits on the tube, but no hookups, so I think I'm going to change tacks a little bit, and I tied on a wacky rig Senko. I noticed along this weed line, and there's another weed line over there, there were some largemouths swimming around. So I thought, if nothing else, I might be able to pick up a couple of those with the Senko. Ooh, there's a nice largie right there. Hope I didn't spook him. I might have, because he swam right past this lure and didn't even look at it. Damn. That was like a 2-pounder. Well, I'm seeing plenty of big fish today. Landing them, that's a whole nother ball game. Well guys, the Senko yielded no bites, so I made a lure change. I think I'm going to get back to basics here. I've got a 3-inch black curltail grub on a 1/8 ounce jig head, and I'm just going to bring this along the bottom, and hopefully I can get some smallmouth who will mistake this for a hellgrammite or a mad tom or a sculpin or something. Oh, there's a fish. Smallmouth. All right. Well, he's no giant, but fish number 1 is very important. All right. Came on the little black curltail grub. Well, I'm not getting skunked, so that's a better feeling. Oh, how about that? All right, so we got off to a bit of a rough start, but look at that. 2 in a row. Okay. Putting something together. Let's keep the ball rolling. I got a big flotilla coming down, so it looks like I'm not going to go any further up. Gonna have to stay ahead of them and just work my way back downstream. Oh, there we go. Alright. Oh! That one came off. But another one on that black grub. Looks like we found what they want. I could not run him. Just gotta wait for him to pass. Hopefully they don't spook the fish too bad. Well, it's a public river on a holiday weekend. I can't begrudge that. Well, that family got distracted by a rope swing, fortunately. So they're still up there. I figured I would take that opportunity to motor back down here and fish this stretch again. Because I know there was more than just that one big one. I saw a pair of them. One looked like it was about 3 pounds. The other one looked like it was 4 or more. I think I missed the larger of the two. But if I can catch that 3-pounder, I will consider it a salvaged day. Well, guys, I fished through this stretch with the grub, and I was getting some hits, but they were all small fish. So I think the big girls are in the mood for something a little bigger, a little saltier, a little meatier. So I'm just going to put the tube back on and see what that does for me. Well, guys, no further action here. I think I've done all I can at this spot. But I don't want to leave things the way they are. I don't want to wallow in this heartbreak of losing a giant smallmouth on the entire drive home. So I'm going to try another spot, and hopefully I can make something happen there. So sit tight, and I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Alright guys, here we are at spot number 2. Let's hope this one treats me a little bit better than that last one did. There we go. Didn't take long. Probably my 4th or 5th cast. Still not real big, but it's something. Another little dinker. Don't worry about the gunshots. There are private hunting clubs all around here. so no worries. There we go. Well, almost 4 hours at that first spot, and I landed 2 smallmouths. I've been at this spot for about 5 minutes, and I landed 2 smallmouths. Starting to think I probably should have started the day here. Well guys, I have waded down here about as far as I can go. This hole gets too deep on either side for me to go any further. Gonna have to remember to come back and hit this spot with my kayak someday. So I'm going to turn around and head back, and since we're getting towards the end of the evening, I decided to tie on a topwater. Now, I was thinking about going with the whopper plopper since it's so good for big smallies, but I'm noticing a lot of floating debris on the water, and the whopper plopper does not like the floating debris. Like, if there's any floating debris within 5 feet of the whopper plopper, it's going to hook onto it. So instead, I decided to tie on a buzzbait, and hopefully that'll turn on some big smallies. Okay, so the buzzbait was not working out. I was having trouble keeping it on top of the water in this current. This spinning reel I'm using has kind of a low gear ratio, which is not good for fishing buzzbaits. So switched over to the Pop R. Before the whopper plopper came along, this was my go-to big smallmouth topwater. And that's why. Oh! And that's why I still tie on the Pop R from time to time. Guys, I am stunned. I am stunned. After missing out on that big smallmouth, to be able to come back and catch one like this. It's a little skinny, but it's long. I'd say this is probably a 20-incher. Oh man. I'm speechless. This is unreal. This is absolutely unreal. All right, let's get her back in the water. Maybe you can fatten up. You'd be a 5-pounder if you were fully fed. There she goes. Look at her go. Guys, I know I'm not whooping and hollering right now, but my God, am I excited. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for me today, and what a day it turned out to be. Let's talk about it for a little bit, because there's a lot to unpack here. So let's start at the beginning with that big fish I missed. After going over it in my head, I figured out that what happened was my drag was set too tight, and I was using braid. So when that fish took off on its initial run, the hook just ripped right out of its mouth. Kind of a rookie mistake. We all know better, but sometimes we do it anyway. The drag isn't set right. Just a reminder, before you even take that first cast, make sure the drag is set right. Otherwise, you could wind up losing the biggest fish of the day. So after that, my heart was really shattered. I mean, I was besides myself, because that was a huge fish. I mean, I can't You couldn't feel it the way I felt it on the end of my line, but you know, I've hooked big smallmouths before, and that was a big smallmouth. I could tell just by the way it felt. And part of me just wanted to give up and go home. You know, after something happens like that, it really knocks the wind out of you. But I decided to keep on fishing, didn't lose focus, and tried to redeem myself. And you know what? The river gods, they saw fit to give me a second chance, and this time I didn't totally blow it, and wound up catching a really nice smallmouth. I'm not 100% sure it was as big as the one I missed, but it was a damn big smallmouth that I landed, so I'm really happy about that. And you know, in the end, I'm kind of glad that today worked out the way it did, because if you saw my last video, you know I've recently been going through a difficult period where I just you know, I've been struggling, and you know, haven't felt right mentally, and you know, things just haven't been going well. And today was kind of a microcosm of that. It started out with me losing that big fish, but I kept on fishing, and at the end of the day, I finally achieved my goal and caught that lunker smallmouth I wanted today. And that's kind of a parallel of what I had recently gone through. You know, things weren't looking good, and instead of just rolling over and giving up, I just kept on going, and you know, I was able to turn things around, and now I'm pretty much back to my old self. So you know, if nothing else, I hope you can do the same. You know, when things don't break your way, you know, just don't give up. Just keep going, and you know, things will get better. You know, if you give it everything you got and you don't lose sight of what's important, things will always get better. You know, there's never such a thing as no hope. So whenever you're feeling down and whenever you're feeling like maybe you can't go on anymore, just watch this video, and hopefully you'll gain some inspiration from it. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.